I've got the top 10 must-adds in fantasy basketball coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to count down the top 10 must-adds ahead of week 15. If you like this content, please smash that like button. And a special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for almost 26% of all viewers. To the other 74% of viewers that haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so, as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. To qualify for the list, all players must be owned in no more than 60% of leagues. This episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy Sports. Use the promo code BEATTHEODDS to double your first deposit up to $250. And first-time users get a free square. Like tonight, if you bet on Luka to score 1 point and he does, then you win. Now let's dive right into the list here. At number 10, we have Ayo Dosunmu, 14% owned, 28 minutes per game over the last 2 weeks here, 15.3 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.5 threes, 1 steal, 0.7 blocks, 1.3 turnovers on 60% shooting from the field and 94% from the line. Dosunmu is heating up for the Bulls. With Zach LaVine out for the last 3 games and Patrick Williams in a bit of a slump, Dosunmu has been stepping up with some savory lines. If he can keep his minutes in the 30-minute range, which he's done in 3 of the last 4 games, he may be a great pickup for those who are looking to have a well-rounded player that can contribute to every category. Over to number 9 we go. Alec Burks, 38% owned. Last 2 weeks he had 26 minutes per game, 20.6 points, 2.4 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 4.6 threes, 0.6 steals, no blocks, 0.4 turnovers on 43% shooting from the field and 84% from the line. Burks has been featured here for a while because the Pistons have been in dire need of scoring over the last couple of weeks. That's exactly what Burks offers, and not a whole lot more. He has been putting up 14 shots per game over the last 2 weeks, and he's rewarded managers with plenty of threes and solid shooting from the charity stripe. Kate Cunningham's return will eat into Burks' shot totals, but Burks will hold value as long as he plays above 25 minutes per game. Let's go to number 8. We have Harrison Barnes, 36% owned, 32 minutes per game over the last 2 weeks, 19 points, 2.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2.8 threes, 0.8 steals, 0.2 blocks, 0.8 turnovers on 53% shooting from the field and 100% from the line. Many managers have rushed to the waiver wire to pick up Harrison Barnes after his back-to-back 30-point performances this past week. The reason he's really not higher on this list is that outside of those 2 games where he hoisted a total of 44 shots, he has only put up 30 shots in his prior 6 games combined. He's a good add if he can continue the heater that he is currently on. Over to number 7 we go. Jeremy Sochan, 59% owned. Last 2 weeks he has 31 minutes per game, 15 points, 7.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.8 threes, 1.1 steals, 0.9 blocks, 1.8 turnovers on 45% shooting from the field and 89% from the line. Sochan is starting to show signs of consistency, which plagued him at the onset of this season. He's receiving more playing time, and he's been handling the ball more in the absence of Trey Jones. Now, Jones is currently back, but he shouldn't eat into too many of Sochan's minutes. If Sochan continues to put up the type of lines that he has been of late, he may be soon difficult to find on the waiver wire. To number 6 we go. We have Isaiah Stewart, 56% owned. Last 2 weeks he has 31 minutes per game, 14.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 threes, 1.3 steals, 2.5 blocks, 2 turnovers on 47% shooting from the field and 75% from the line. The 3-point shot is falling, the minutes are there, and Stewart has been a beast on the defensive stats of late. With Marvin Bagley out of town, there is more of an opportunity for Stewart to expand his game. Since Stewart is as reliant on his 3-point shot, he's not going to post effective shooting splits, but if he can continue to put up the healthy steal and block totals, then he'll still be worth rostering. Over to number 5, we have Derek Lively II, 60% owned. Over the last 2 weeks, he has 26 minutes per game, 9 points, 8.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.6 steals, 1.4 blocks, 1.2 turnovers on 81% shooting from the field and 75% from the line. Lively has made a living of late on the 60% ownership bubble. He has a defined role on the team, and he is a nightly threat to give you solid production. His offense is quite simple, which keeps his percentages high. Lively posted a 9.11 rebound and 4 assists, with a steal and 4 blocks in his last game on Friday, and that line kind of gives you a good idea of the type of production that you can get from him on any given night. Moving over to number 4, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr., 60% owned over the last 2 weeks. He had 15 minutes in one game, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 64% shooting from the field, and 100% from the line. Jaquez is now back, so this is your reminder to check your waiver wire to see if another manager was impatient and had dropped him. He's an effective, polished scorer that is also able to accumulate a healthy amount of non-scoring stats. He may not get the 35 minutes per game that he was receiving before he went down with his groin injury, as Terry Rozier has now entered the fold and is likely going to be influencing the amount of minutes that we're going to see Jaquez on the court. Let's go to number 3. We have Kevin Huerter, 53% owned, 33 minutes per game over the last 2 weeks, 14.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 2.5 threes, 1 steal, 2.5 blocks, 1 turnover on 44% shooting from the field and 75% from the line. The Kings tend to flip between hot streaks by Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk. It's Huerter's time right now, as he has been a great complementary playmaker to go along with being a threat from beyond the arc. 3.5 stocks that Huerter has averaged over the last 2 weeks were a bonus and not really something that you should count on going forward. But feel free to plug him into your lineups for as long as he remains hot. Let's go over to number 2. We have Alex Caruso, 55% owned over the last 2 weeks. He has 31 minutes per game, 11.8 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 2.8 threes, 1.8 steals, 2 blocks, 1.3 turnovers on 50% shooting from the field and 100% from the line. Now, I should look at my episodes to see which players have made the weekly list the most. I'm pretty sure Caruso would be up there. Now, for him, ignore the points. They're simply a bonus. Caruso's true worth is his stocks, where he currently has 2.3 of those per game on the season. Now, Derek White has had a breakout season in fantasy, and Caruso could be poised for a big second half for exactly the same reasons. And finally, at number 1, we have Jonathan Kinga, 60% owned over the last 2 weeks. He has 30 minutes per game, 28 points, 4.3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4.7 threes, 1 steal, 0.3 blocks, 2.7 turnovers on 50% shooting from the field and 100% from the line. Get Kinga now. He is averaging 20 points per game in January, and he has cemented himself as a part of the future in Golden State. Dario Saric has joined the starting 5, but that's simply a formality, as he has been logging only 20 minutes per game in the last 3 compared to Kuminga's 29 minutes per game. The Warriors are likely going to get to the point where they will abandon the season, and that should only increase the likelihood that Kinga will be unleashed. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on our next episode.